Yo, what is up everybody? Chris here from Fake Sports News, back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys a quick little update as to what happened yesterday during Thursday's matches, as well as what you can expect going into today's matches on Friday. So I'm recording this on Friday morning. I wanted to get this one out probably by noon today, just so you guys get like a little recap before the event starts. I realize I've been posting the videos kind of early, but there's really no reason to rush it. I can just kind of get them out of my leisure and give you guys better information. So looking at yesterday's matches, we had a big time upset. The Minnesota Rocker got 3-0'd by the New York Subliners. Asim, I think he was 31-6 through the first two maps. The guy was just absolutely having relentlessly. So he had a great series. Really happy for him. Asim is a grinder. The guy's really talented, and just happy to see that he's getting another go at it this year. He had a pretty disappointing year in Minnesota when things went online, but personally, I always liked him. You guys know that last year I was a big Minnesota Rocker fan when things were on land still, and I really hated to see their decline once we shifted to online. So happy to see Asim found a new home where he's really thriving, and he looks to be one of the best players in the game at the current moment. So Rocker got upset. You guys know I had them Moneyline, so that was a little bit disappointing to see that they lost. I also had the map 2, and they didn't win map 2, which was pretty disappointing. I think they got 6-0'd, so it was a thorough stomping on map 2 from what I remember, but you know, such is life. So I really don't know what to think about the Subliners Dallas series today. I do think that I don't know, I think there's potential that the Subliners win the series, but I think it'll be pretty close. But I also do recognize the potential for Dallas to come out hot. I think they want to take that #1 seed going into the major next Wednesday, and I don't know, that's definitely one to keep your eye on. So looking ahead to our next matchup, we had the LA Guerrillas taking on Optic Chicago, and a lot of people were pretty surprised to see the LA Guerrillas playing them so tight, but LA has been playing teams tight really all year long. They've looked really good this year, like Vivid, of course, 3 players from the World War II Championship roster, that being Silly, Assault, and Apathy. They're just really good players. Like Vivid, he had a breakout year last year. He was really solid player. He just didn't have the help that he needed, the players around him, to really accentuate just his natural talents, but now he does. He has some veterans who know how to win, and you know, they're really figuring things out as they go. Of course, they beat Chicago in the opening hardpoint, which was very shocking to people like myself. I think Chicago's the best hardpoint team in the game as it stands, and I wasn't expecting them to lose that map 1, to be honest with you. But of course, they swept the last 3, so for our betting tips, that was an absolute win. Live calls went 3 of 3 in that series, so that was awesome. And it was a really entertaining series. LA Guerrillas played them very tight, and Optic Chicago really got tested. It was nice to see them go through a little stress test, having to figure things out on the fly. Of course, in our last matchup of the day, we had the Atlanta FaZe Florida Mutineers matchup. This was a really highly anticipated matchup for me, because FaZe versus Mutineers was always a very interesting rivalry last year. Of course, cue the pain from that domination last year. BZ spraying that little sad heart on the wall. It really made me sad as an Atlanta native to see that one happen. So this is always an interesting matchup, right? The Florida players, they love playing Atlanta FaZe and Optic Chicago. They really love playing the top tier teams and just proving that they are, you know, a very sound, very strong team. And it was a really entertaining series. The Mutineers looked great in this series. This was a really important bounce back for them. They had a very rough week, and they really needed a series to kind of test their mettle and bring them back into form. So, of course, that map 3, I really don't know what happened. Slacked and Wake got full streaks, and they had 4 streaks and got 0 kills out of them. So I don't know what that was all about, but FaZe made the 2-1 comeback. That was another live call that had me sweating a little bit. But you know, always got to trust in your team, if you will. So I had the utmost faith in FaZe. I knew they can bring it back, but it looked pretty dire at a certain point there. Of course, the Search and Destroy they looked fantastic in, and same for the last hard point. It was close, but you know, FaZe pulled it out at the end. I believe it was 250 to 190. So at the end they just pulled away. They chained P1 and P2 successfully towards the end of the game, and that really sealed the deal for them. So looking ahead to today's matches, we have the LA Thieves taking on the London Royal Ravens in our opening matchup at 3 p.m. Eastern. I think that the Thieves win this matchup, but I do think that there's potential for the Ravens to take a map somewhere along the way, most likely the S&D if they're going to take anything, but it could be the opening hard point. I mean, LA Thieves, they're a very good search and destroy team from what I've seen. Of course, the last time we saw them in search this week, they ended on a 6-0 with Tej going 12-0, having really the only perfect game in search that I can remember. I'm not sure if it's the only one in comp history. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it's the only one I can remember recently at least. So I think LA Thieves map 2 might be a lock for today. I think their search and destroy is just really solid. They have two great search players, of course, that being TJ Halley and, of course, Temp. Temp has always been a really good search player. People don't really think about it, but TJ and Temp, they came up together back in the AW days, and they really came up on search. Obviously, TJ is known as a search kid, but Temp is really solid in search as well. Slasher, his play calls are elite. He's been struggling a little bit this season. Struggling in the sense he's not putting up usual Slasher numbers, but, you know, I expect him to return to regular Slasher form today against the Ravens. And, of course, Kenny is Kenny. Like, Kenny's just a beast. Like, I'm not going to talk about Kenny that much. We all know how Kenny is. He's just different. Ever since World War II on TK, the guy's just been different. So, nothing but respect for Kenny. And then on the other side, the London Royal Ravens, they are looking to bounce back. So, I expect them to really come out hot in the hard point, and they could potentially take that. Alex and Dylan, they were struggling a little bit, but Shawnee and Parasite, they usually are pretty consistent and performing well. So we'll see how things go for them. Hopefully Shawnee and Alex can have a better series and make it a little bit more intense. We obviously won good matches, so I want them to really succeed. I love EU players. I love seeing them in the league, and I want the one EU team that's in the league to really succeed. I would just hate for them to have a bad season. So, personally, I think Thieves win this 3-1, but I do realize that there's potential for a 3-2 if the Ravens are really coming out hot today and they win a couple maps somewhere along the way. If they do win a map, I would assume it to be the opening hard point and then the subsequent search and then LA Thieves reverse sweep. If that comes to fruition, then, you heard it here first, folks. Excuse me. So I think 3-1 for LA Thieves, but I do recognize that the Ravens are picking up steam, so there's potential that they take the series a little bit further. Looking ahead to our second matchup of the day, we have the Toronto Ultra taking on the Paris Legion, and I think Toronto, after the matchup against Optic Chicago, they played Chicago very, very tight the entire series. And I think that they'll be looking to bounce back after that. They're trying to retain, their position as one of the top 3 teams within Group B. At least I believe they're a top 3 team in Group B as it stands now. So I'm interested to see how this series goes. Paris is a really good team. They are heavily slept on. I mean, Optic Chicago, they definitely didn't breeze through Paris as easily as any of us thought that they would. So I'm interested to see how things turn out in this matchup. I think that Paris is really a solid team, and they do have potential to take a couple maps here. But as things stand, I think that, of course, that Toronto roster, especially with Cammy playing the way that he has been recently, I just don't see them losing. So I think Ultra take this 3-1, but I do think it'll be a tight series. So there is potential for some upsets along the way. Paris winning the series is also not out of the question. They've been playing very well, and they've been playing fundamentally very sound Call of Duty. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be a very entertaining series as well. In our last matchup of the day, we have two juggernauts going head-to-head. We have the Dallas Empire taking on the New York Subliners. Now, the Empire, they just came off a Game 5 against They just came off a Game 5 against London. So I think they'll be looking to make a statement against the New York Subliners. But the New York Subliners are really hot right now. They're 2-0 this week. 2 3-0s this week. So I think that they'll be coming out really hot. I think they want to make a statement, and I think they want to put Dallas in the dirt just to assert themselves as one of the top teams in this group, if not the top team by the time it's all said and done. So we'll see how this goes. This is going to be a super, super important matchup for seeding going into, of course, next week's major. So this is a matchup that you definitely want to circle, keep your eyes on, and really watch. This one really does count for something. Now, as it stands, I think the Empire do take this matchup. It's just really hard to doubt Illy, Shotzi, Hook, and Crimsix. I mean, Hook right now, in my opinion, is the best player in the game, without a doubt. I think he had a 1.5 hardpoint KD and a 1.4 overall KD last week. So I think, excuse me, not last week, this week. So I think Hook will definitely be in a different mode going into this matchup, and I think that they'll win as a result of that. But I do recognize that the Subliners are playing with incredible composure, and they're in incredible form lately. So seeing them push it to a Game 5 would not surprise me at all. Seeing them win would not surprise me at all. This is going to be a very, very, very tight series. So definitely keep your eyes on that. I'm also very interested in seeing what Dallas's form looks like here. They really struggled against the Ravens, and they had some pretty sloppy plays, if we're being honest. No disrespect, but they just didn't look like the Dallas Empire of old. They weren't as sharp as they normally are. And I'm curious to see if that was just a fluke, or an off day, if you will, or if they're having a more general problem with their teamwork and their chemistry. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup, like I've said about 8 times now. And I hope you guys enjoy watching that one. It's definitely going to be one of the best matches of the week, without a doubt. 2 teams in interesting forms. New York, obviously, hottest that they've been this season. And Dallas, really the weakest that they've looked in a very long time since opening weekend last year, when they really struggled to get out the gate, losing, of course, to Atlanta FaZe in Chicago. So be sure to tune into all the action on the Call of Duty League's YouTube channel. I will link that in the description down below. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. And I hope you guys enjoy all the matches today. We have nothing but bangers today, really. The teams may not look as close as you would think, but given recent form, I think these matches will be very tight, very chaotic, and very entertaining. So I'll be bringing you guys another video tonight, definitely tonight, going over what happens today, and then giving you obviously a preview of what to expect going into Saturday. So yeah, guys, that'll just about wrap it up for me. I hope you all have a great morning, noon, or night, wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Really trying to get the word out to the competitive Call of Duty fan base, the community. I'm putting in the work. My betting tips are firing on all cylinders. We're 54-20 on the season, ladies and gentlemen. We are not missing. I mean, we miss an average of 4 calls a day, but I mean, we have a pretty good hit rate this season. So please share this if you have any friends who are interested in betting on Call of Duty. Send them my way. You know, I'll make sure I take care of them. And yeah, guys, enjoy the matches today. Thank you for all the support recently. I love everyone who watches these videos. You guys are the best. You keep me going. And I will catch you guys on the next video. So thanks for all the support. And once again, this is Chris from Fake Sports News signing off. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.